Hey guys, Cryptodad here again, and I've been contacted by a lot of people that are having difficulties with firmware updates. Now, in a way, this is good news because I've been out there advocating for keeping your device up to date. And because of the bull market, there's a lot of people pulling their old devices out of their drawers and trying to access their crypto, and they're being forced to run updates. So a lot of people are having issues, and I want to address those issues. I've got some troubleshooting tips to help you get through firmware difficulties, and then there are a couple of issues that some people are not aware of that make them think that their device is bricked when it really isn't. So I'm going to get you through those difficulties as well. So let's jump in. So the first thing I'll cover is the half firmware update. During the firmware update process, it reboots the device and you are expected to enter your PIN and continue with the update. But I think a lot of people are not aware that they are not quite finished yet and just disconnect their device and try to go about their business. This is going to cause issues when you try to use your device. All right, so you're not seeing double. It's me reviewing one of my previous videos, and this is a video on how to update firmware. And you'll notice that halfway through the video, you are expected to enter the PIN on your device. And a lot of people unplug their device and try to go about their business because they think the firmware update is over. So you must remember that during your firmware update, after you enter your PIN, it will continue. It's going to reinstall your apps. A lot of people yank the device out and then they get all upset because it's empty and all their apps have been removed. Well, this is part of the firmware update process, and Ledger has a system where they will automatically reinstall the apps as long as you enter your PIN and continue the firmware update process. I believe that you can simply relaunch Ledger Live, go back into the firmware section, reconnect your device, and continue with the firmware update. So that should be the first thing you should try. If you're still having issues, then I'm going to go into some deeper troubleshooting suggestions later. The second issue that a lot of people are encountering, and I've received emails and comments about, is they think that their device is bricked or not responding because they're trying to enter their PIN and they claim nothing is happening. So I want to go through that with you. There is an extra step when the PIN interface changes. So let's dive into that one. So just for some context here, I want to show you what the old interface looked like. All right, you used your buttons to navigate the digit up and down like this. And when you got to this point, if you had a 4-digit PIN, there was a plus symbol here that would allow you to confirm your PIN. And of course, if you had a longer PIN, you would just continue entering digits. But when you were done with your PIN, you would hit both buttons to confirm, to open up the device. So after the firmware update, the interface is slightly different. Notice that on the newer interface, you have all of the digits on the screen, and then you have the little cursor on the bottom that you can navigate back and forth. And when you get to the end of entering your PIN, you are on the check mark and you're ready to confirm. You hit both buttons just like you did before. But I think maybe some people are over here and somehow feel like, hey, I've entered my PIN. Why isn't the device responding? So I've never noticed this because I usually use an 8-digit PIN, and when I'm done, the cursor is automatically under the check mark. But a lot of you may not be and might be confused as to why the device is not taking your PIN. You're missing that last step, which is to navigate over to the check mark and hit both buttons in order to activate the device. Now, I hate to sound like a broken record, but the Flex and the Stacks have a touchscreen pin entry interface, which is light years ahead of the previous pin interface. It is so much more intuitive and straightforward to enter your pin on a Ledger, Flex, or Stacks. So in many respects, just the improved pin interface is a reason to upgrade. All right, there's one more thing that I want you to be aware of. A lot of people after the firmware update are dealing with connection issues. Now, this may not be directly related to the firmware update. This has always been the case, but you may not have been aware of it. A lot of people get hypersensitive after that firmware update, and they blame the firmware update for all of their technical difficulties. I can't tell you how many emails I've gotten that started with, I did a firmware update and now this is happening. So I want you to listen very carefully what happens when I enter the last digit of my PIN, when I confirm. You hear that noise? That noise was the USB connection alert on my computer. So when you first connect the device, and the PIN is not entered, your computer will not see it as a USB device. It will not connect to it until you have entered the PIN. That is just the functionality of the device. So I get a lot of people who say that my device is not connecting to Ledger Live, or they're getting a message from Ledger Live that says connect and unlock your device, and they think that the device is not connecting properly. The device will not connect to your computer or Ledger Live until you have completed PIN entry. So keep that in mind when you see a message telling you that there's some kind of connection issue, that you need to connect the device. Maybe, I hate to say this, but a lot of people see that connection message and don't even read it, where it says connect and unlock your device. The unlock your device part is entering the PIN. So I get a lot of people that are frustrated. They're telling me their device isn't connected, and really the only reason why this is because they have not entered their PIN. So I hope these short little examples kind of get you past all of these messages that are really just related to your PIN entry. There are more rigorous troubleshooting steps that you can take. I'm going to link this article here for fixing USB connection issues. The thing to remember is that it's just a USB device like anything else on your computer, your scanner, your printer, your webcam, and if you've been using computers for a while, you know that sometimes USB devices require a little bit of troubleshooting. I mentioned earlier that it will not be recognized as a USB device until you actually enter your PIN. That's one of the biggest reasons people are having connection issues. They're sort of getting the steps backward. But there are lots of troubleshooting steps you can take with a Ledger device if it's still not connecting. You can try a different USB port on your computer. You can try a different cable. You can even try using your device on a different computer if you have one laying around, or even if a friend or family member has a computer. You can install Ledger Live on their computer and see if you can get your device connected. So I'm going to link to this longer article, which does a little more step-by-step. Also, if your device does in fact get stuck on update or bootloader during your firmware update, here is an article that walks you through all of the issues. So, and part of what's in this article is the repair section of Ledger Live. So if we go to Ledger Live and we go up here to Settings, and then we go to the Help section, you'll notice down here that you have this button called Repair, and this will help you fix a lot of your issues locally without having to contact Ledger support. So there's 4 different options here depending on the issue that's showing on your screen. All of these features are available in Ledger Live in your settings in the help section. So this would be the best place to start. Your last recourse should be contacting Ledger. Self-custody is about self-responsibility. Really, when you're dealing with self-custody and you're holding lots of crypto, you should exhaust every local possibility before contacting Ledger. I'm not saying Ledger support is bad. I'm just saying that for your own peace of mind, there are many tools here that you can use to troubleshoot your device locally. But if you feel like you absolutely need to contact Ledger, I've got a link to their Contact Us. Keep in mind, Ledger does not provide phone support. This is a security risk. If Ledger provided phone support, there would be so many people being tricked into hearing from someone that claims to be from Ledger. So it's much easier for Ledger to have a strict policy of not offering phone support so that anyone getting a call from anyone claiming to be from Ledger will know right away that it is a scam. The only way to get direct support from Ledger is by using this page and using their chat widget to open a ticket or a service issue. So always make sure that you use official Ledger support page and contact them through their chat widget. Don't try to call them. You're just going to find a scam number if you Google Ledger phone support. So please, if you really need Ledger, they are available, but only through this chat widget. So I hope this video has helped some of you get through some of those simple issues having to do with PIN entry. And then also, if you're having deeper issues, I hope I've given you some good tools. And I've also given you a way to contact Ledger. Always remember that Ledger does not provide phone support. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click. That will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.